We are at 165 for 4. Vijay, are you sitting with your calculator out right now?
It's all up here.
Okay. What's a good score now?
260 plus. I'll say if we can put 260 plus on the board, batting first, that's runs on the board. And this wicket, what we have seen so far, I don't think so. It's going to get any better. I
It's
think
going to get worse?
it's, you say worst, but it's not going to get any better. To be very honest,
Okay, let me ask you the purchase that the Australian spinners have got. Do you think spinners will do better on this pitch?
there's no comparison. To be very honest, although Zampa got 22 wickets in this tournament, but he didn't look like a bowler who got a 22 wickets. Look, the situation. We were three down. There was no extra fielder around the bat. They didn't put enough pressure. Look at his areas, and our batters who were under pressure still able to rotate the strike
They gave
at
away
will.
easy runs.
Absolutely, I didn't see much pressure, but I was very critical of the captain. But it all depends on the ability of the bowler as well. I think he doesn't have that much
You
of
were
a.
critical of the captain
Yes.
who took out Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli today.
I was critical of his captaincy, not his bowling. To be very honest, because he's wearing two hats.
Vijay, I think I'll be the devil's advocate here.
Please.
It isn't easy to be a fast bowling captain. Do you agree that?
Well, it's never easy to be a captain, and especially what we're talking about. We're talking about a side which has won World Cup 5 times. This is an additional advantage or additional pressure on you. Other side which didn't start really well for this World Cup, and nobody says captaincy for any country will be easy.
And Pat Cummins, if we look at him, he started out being a reluctant. I didn't think he
Hmm.
was one of those. He was a Ricky Ponting like captain who wanted to give it all. He was a reluctant captain, and from there to bringing his team to the World Cup final, it's been quite a journey for him, isn't it?
I think you can be reluctant to start with, but once you get the responsibility and you know that you will be there and forefront, you adapt and you just get down with it that you have to do it. Once you take it, then you give your best, and I think this is what cricket teaches you. Once you're in it, then you give everything. And the other thing that I felt about this team is that they have many leaders in their side without the title, and there are reasons they have not given the title, but they are very experienced cricketer in this side.
Isn't that the thing with Australia? I mean, Shane Warne was a captain
The
was
best
a
captain they never had.
yeah that Australia didn't have.
Yes, absolutely.
Best captain that Australia didn't.
Absolutely. I mean, a genius as far as his cricketing sense was concerned. He was, a lot of people say good captains are 3 balls ahead of the game. I think Moni was almost an over ahead of the game. He was so good. His sense, I mean, like that sixth sense that you talk about, his game presence and everything was phenomenal. I won't put Pato in that category yet, and I don't think so. There's any comparison because what Moni has done for the game or for Australian cricket is second
Warney
to
is
none.
legendary. I mean, we
One and
can't.
only.
Yeah,
One and
yeah.
only.
Let's talk a little bit about present. What has happened given the context of the game? India 169 for 4 right now. Tell us how invaluable is Rohit Sharma's innings in the context of where we've
I'll tell
reached.
you, first 80 runs coming in 60 balls, next
Yeah.
80 runs coming in 20 overs. That's how important Rohit has been throughout this World Cup. He gave that much of freedom or to play slow. It might sound a little funny that freedom to play slow, and this is what has happened so far. That he set the tone, he plays aggressively, and the batsmen to follow take a little bit of a time. But what the class about those batsmen is they take their time, but then they play a big inning. Virat has done throughout this tournament, and he was looking
KL
good.
Rahul
KL.
also today is looking good, and a lot depends on how KL Rahul, Jadeja, and Surya Kumar Yadav later comes in and is able
If
to.
KL is there till the 50th over, he'll get in 100. There's no doubt about that. He's got that ability. And you just mentioned about Surya as well. If they can stretch this partnership till 45th sort of an over, we have these three in the mix, two batting, two set batting, and one to follow. I think Indian team can get at least 15 last 5 overs. It's
50 in the last 5 overs. Okay,
no, Rika, not 15 5 overs. It's 30 balls, 50 runs. You look at the bigger number. I mean, like when I say 550, it sounds a smaller number. But when I divide that 5 into 6, that 30 balls, 50 runs is 3 big hits. And you expect 3 big hits in last.
So we are on the 35th over,
Yeah.
which means we are left with 15 overs. We are on 170 runs.
Yeah.
Give us sort of an equation that.
I mean, like 90 balls to go. 90 balls, even if we play safe sort of cricket, we're looking at
94 balls to go,
yeah,
yeah.
again we're looking for at least 90. That gives us what I was saying,
260.
260 plus easily. But if we have the hand, if we play for 260, we will get around about 285. But if we play for 300, we'll end up getting 240 or 250. The smartness right now is just be in the game, and I think the Indian side. The most important what I've seen at the moment is biting their ego. Sometimes what happens is when you're playing the kind of cricket that they have played so far, you try and do the same thing, even in the final as well. But there are people who are biting their ego and saying, "All right, hold on,
And no one is going for glory shots,
there's no
really.
need." A glory shot or a glory inning at the moment, to be very honest. The biggest glory will be Indian team winning this World Cup.
Lifting
And
the
this,
cup,
mind you,
yeah.
this World Cup comes once in 4 years. And you have covered enough cricket. You know that next time around when the World Cup comes, at least 6 or 7 of these boys won't be there. So they
Yeah.
don't want to miss out on this opportunity to win it. And once you win it,
Which
then you're in
I'm
the.
pinching myself to believe that I'm still covering this World Cup because I still have the feeling of 2nd of April 2011 when I was standing outside the Wankhede Stadium, Islam Gymkhana to begin with,
Yeah.
and it took me roughly 3.5 hours to get into Wankhede. So I'm pinching myself. So I don't think many of these guys will have the opportunity. It's a generational thing to be
It is,
covering,
yeah, it is.
to be participating in a home World Cup. I mean to say.
It is, and over these 10, 12 years or more than that, look at the amount of people who are getting into journalism, and all sort of avenues have opened up now, and the opportunities people are getting, and that those press box number in press box is what, double or triple now.
Swelled,
Yeah,
yes,
so all
yes.
those things are happening. But Rika, I think you have another opportunity to feel like that. Maybe from the NDTV studio today, but I'm still very, very hopeful looking at the game where it stands at the moment,
Yeah.
looking at the team that we have, looking at looking at how India is played so far. I still believe there is a plan, because when you win 10 out of 10, there's definitely a plan. You don't win just like that. So they are thinking something right now. Just the first and the most important thing is staying in the game. In any game, you don't want to be out of the game in the first half, and this is what Indian team is trying so hard to stay in the game, stay relevant as far as this World Cup is concerned. And once you cross 250, 260, you know that you have a shot.
Well, we'll have to tell our viewers that KL Rahul has scored a half century and he has fought really hard for it.
And I think
For about 97 balls, we didn't get a single four, right?
he's not looking at that. What he's looking at the moment is one eye is that he want to be there till the end, and one eye at every ball, and that's how he's going to survive. One ball at a time and just get there. Because if he stays till the end, like I just mentioned, either he'll be at 100 or he'll be very close to 100. So we're talking about 40 runs or 40 or 45 runs coming from his bat, and you'll get another 30, 40 from the other end. So you will be touching 270, 275. And the other thing is, it's not only about the score, 270 to 75. The Australian team will feel that the momentum has gone back when you take a break, gone back again to the Indian side. And this is what happens in this format.
And that's a psychological, you give them the psychological edge.
100%, 100%, because they'll feel that they were there and in it and they didn't finish it. And they have given a bit of a opportunity or a bit of an opening as far as the Indian team is concerned. And mind you, our bowling is our strength. When they face this bowling, and they're counting on Dew coming in the second half, they're counting on a lot of other things. But I think our bowling is lethal, and you want to see 5 attacking bowlers playing in a side, backs against the wall, World Cup at stake. You can't ask for anything
In
more than
this
that.
context, Adam Zampa's 10 overs become very important for Australia, isn't it? He's already bowled 29. He's conceded 29 runs, but hasn't picked up a wicket yet.
I feel Rika is very lucky the way he's bowling, and we have lost too many wickets. Otherwise, I think Pattinson Pato would have been looking for some other option, because I don't see him bowling 10 overs against this batting lineup if we have lost early wickets, because he's
Okay.
bowling very, very normal. He's bowling mediocre bowling at the moment. He can bowl those overs because Indian batsmen are not taking undue risk against him at the moment, because they want to build a partnership. They want to take the game deep.
Do you think he's bowling ordinary in this game or he's
Yes,
been.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Okay.
he didn't look like somebody who's got 22 wickets next to his name. So that's the reason why I'm going by what he's done so far.
And who do you think Pat Cummins will rely on to finish off these overs?
I think Pat Cummins must be thinking how can they get India all out.
All out.
If
Yeah.
India end up playing all 50 overs, they'll be very close to where they want to be. So right
Which is
now,
300 runs, perhaps.
anywhere close to. I mean, like, if you are struggling in the sense, if you have lost early wickets and then you get to 300, well, as a bowling captain, I'll feel a bit disappointed. Whatever said and done at the toss, you say it's a 300 is a par. But if you're four down at 120 and top four down at 120, and I still allow
You
opposition to
managed
get to
to, yeah.
300, I've allowed, then you become a
Game to,
50-50
yeah,
game.
yeah. You've allowed the game to slip away then.
100, yes, absolutely.
So Australia are at 177 for 4 after 35.2 overs. Big start from Rohit Sharma, who scored 47 runs, and then Virat Kohli came in the middle to score 54, his sixth half century of the World Cup. Tell us how different was this one from the shades of Kohli that we saw during the
I can
tournament.
break that. I can break it up in two parts. Shubman got out early. Rohit was going great gun, but if you look, Virat's strike rate in first 10 overs was the best strike rate in the beginning of inning throughout the World Cup. So he was playing aggressive as well because he didn't want to put that
Pressure
much
on the
pressure on
next
us.
next
Yeah,
guys, yeah.
because we relied on a good start throughout, but after we lost Rohit, it was essential for Virat to take that caution sort of approach and just stay there because his importance of his wicket or importance of his presence in the middle, informed batsman, maximum runs in this World Cup. His reputation plays always in the mind of the opposition. Keeping all those things in mind, and he was all set for another 100. I mean, like 25 overs, he was batting at 53. He was looking for another next 25 overs where he can plan for another 100 or something like that. So, and it's a bit unfortunate because the ball that he got out on, it was not a wicket taking ball. He was just gliding it down to the third man. Got an inner edge. He was not expecting that much of a bounce. So, uh, soft dismissal as far as Virat is concerned. But yes, once again, he plays situations much better than anyone else in the world at the moment, and I think that's where he stands out from the rest of the crowd.
Tell us a little bit about the atmosphere that you're seeing at the Narendra Modi Stadium and the fact that Pat Cummins said that we're going to silence the crowd, and he himself has done it a couple of times in this match now.
Can't ask for a better performance from a captain, to be very honest. It's a hot and a cold sort of a crowd. It was first couple of overs, it was everybody was going
Yeah.
crazy, and then when you lose a couple of wickets, you can sense the mood. And one of the program I was saying that unfortunately, as crowd we are not mature enough. We don't judge the game. We are result oriented country. We're
Yeah.
not sports loving nation
No.
still. So when you understand the game, you go on because you know all these things will happen in a
The
game.
ebb and flow, yeah.
It's a World Cup final. You don't want to have it 11 games in a row without even
And it's great for a cricket fan to see a contest rather than a one-sided match.
100%. When you say contest, you want both the sides to compete against each
Yes,
other.
yes.
And the
A
other
good
thing,
contest, a cliffhanger.
100%. And at least in a final, at least against a side who's won for the five times, who's in the final for the eighth time, their number is better than anyone else in the world. And mind you, every time Australia is in a contest, they don't come there to compete. They don't come there to participate. They come
They
there
come
to
there to
compete.
win.
Yeah, so that's another thing. And once you're there, you forget about how you started. Now you're there. It doesn't matter from where you started. I mean, like nobody will remember how you started. You lost a couple of early games. Nobody remembers if you win it
Yeah.
at the end of the day, and that's what matters. And I think this is what they're giving. And they also know, Rika, for their camp as well. There are some of the players who will be playing in the last
Yeah.
World Cup.
Starting with David Warner.
You can take so
Dave
many names. I mean, like, there are
Smith
five
Warner,
of them who
yeah.
played at what, two World Cups, right?
2015
15
also
World
they
Cups. So,
played.
so, so imagine.
Yeah.
And with so many T20 leagues around the world right now, I think the longevity of the players is coming down big time. And especially playing for countries, especially playing this format, will be very tough now. So there's so much attention. There's so much other things going in your mind. And when you're 34, 35, and finding a little bit of a tough time at the international level, you start looking at the other options. I mean, like somebody like Quinton de Kock at his peak, he's saying that I'm not going to play international cricket anymore. I can't believe that he's saying that he's not enjoying it. I think he's saying that there are other things that I can
Of
start
course,
looking
the
at.
opportunity to become a freelancer.
Yes.
Vijay, since you've been a part of the dressing room with KL Rahul at the Lucknow Super Giants, give us a sneak peek into the mind of KL Rahul. How would he be strategizing at the moment in the middle, and what would he be thinking? What is his thought process when he's in the middle playing as crucial a knock as this?
I think he'll be calculating it from the 50 overs backwards.
Oh, okay.
He's not going from 26th overs, 27th, 28th. He'll be counting about 50th over, where he wants to see his team on a 50th over. He's maybe he's not a captain of the side, but he's captain India. He's been given a vice captaincy role after the Hardik not being there. He's captaining an IPL side for so many seasons, so he knows how to take responsibility. The other thing is his overall demeanor, his overall presence gives you that idea that I'm in control. And when you give that sort of a thing, and it's about the opposition as well. And he's somebody who admires Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and anyone who
Okay.
admires Mahendra Singh Dhoni will always take the
Did you see
game
Mahendra
deeper.
Singh Dhoni at the stadium?
No, I
We
didn't see him.
any,
I didn't see him. I think cameramen were more busy to see them because the other sort of a celebrities rather than the cricketing celebrities in a stadium.
Right, yeah.
But I didn't see him. But they say yes, the helicopter is landed. That's what they were
Oh,
saying.
lovely.
That Dhoni is in the
Yeah.
in the house.
Dhoni is in the house.
And I think this is a good initiative as far as the ICC is concerned. They're gonna have all the other captains,
Captains,
from
yeah.
everywhere, whoever has won the World Cup, and they will be presented.
No
with
Imran
a-
Khan though.
well, let's not go that way, because again, there are captains and there are leaders. And when you are a leader, you cannot stay leader only on the field. There are people who will be a leader off the field as well, and he's one of them. And he's somebody who's taken that responsibility to do something after
Beyond cricket.
beyond cricket. And I think that's a whole lot of bigger commitment, and a lot of baggage comes to that as well.
Okay, you spoke about KL Rahul and the way, I mean, his whole sort of a personality is about staying in control. Has he got India under control right now? Is the match seems to be under control of the Indians?
Not really, to be very honest. As far as you're in the middle, I mean, even if we end up at 300, Rick, I'll be honest, you'll always say we are 20 short because that's how you think. But you rather look at the situation from where you were and then take it from there. And I think you are getting into that zone where you can fight or compete. I'm not saying you're going towards where you can win it. It can happen as well. But going into the dressing room, looking into each other's eye,
Will
and
it be a
say,
dogfight?
should be. It should be for at least first 10 overs because we know the Australians will come hard.
In the meantime, India has lost the wicket of Ravindra Jadeja.
That's another toughie. So we are at what, 170 or
178 for 5, yeah. 36
time for Surya to shine, to be very honest. And that's the reason why they were holding him back because they know he's more of a T20 sort of a mindset player. I won't say skill set, but his mindset is such. He possesses the skill to be successful in a 50 over cricket as well. But the way he's been playing from last year and a half, I think the Indian team feel that if you give him less balls, he can give you more. And that's the reason why they hold him back and Jadeja came before him. And right now,
Tell us, how does this fire and ice combination really work? KL Rahul in control is a very, is a very sorted. I don't think the word sorted is right. I mean, person who's in control. And Surya, Mr. 360 degree, loves playing all around the park. How does a combination like this work in a situation like this?
well, I'll play my part, you play your part, to be very honest. And we see that right at the top as well. Rohit Sharma, he goes in a certain way. He went in a certain way throughout this tournament, and he's not asking their partner to change anything. I mean, he didn't ask anyone to do it.
Communication wise?
Communication wise, he'll be there. You don't want people to change their style of play. This
Okay.
is where you put extra
Okay.
pressure on them. Only thing you can say is let's play according to the situation. You can have a method to a madness as well. And I think a lot of people feel that Surya is playing certain shot, but he practiced them so much. These are his shots. There are some people who will play a good cut or drive or flick or something like that. Him being that 360 you're talking about, he does
That
that
one
very-
over the cow corner.
Yeah,
Do you think you will see him play
if the ball is there,
this-
he'll do it. And if he's not doing it, it means he's under pressure. It means he's trying to do something which he normally doesn't do it. So don't change your style of play. Don't change anything. Back yourself. I'm still telling you, back yourself. Do what you've been doing so far, or do it what worked for you. But keep more
But then
things in
there
your
is a
favor.
if by doing that he gets out, he will be called irresponsible in this situation. There's a very thin line between being irresponsible and being yourself, isn't it?
Any stroke player in the world, and I go with great Viv Richards, and I'll talk about Gilchrist, and I'll talk about Virendra Sehwag. I talk about all these stroke
Hayden,
players.
yeah.
Whenever they get out, everyone will say, "What was the need?" But they don't realize they go to the stadium to watch these guys and get entertained. When they're getting entertained, they love these shots. And when they get out playing the same kind of shot, people say, "Oh, what was the need?"
Yeah.
They're always the need, because these entertainers, these stroke players will play only this way. The only thing is sometimes you want to keep more things in your favor, more odds in your favor, and then play these kind of shots. Then it comes down what number you bat at. So keeping all those things in mind, but I feel Surya will try and do something special here, because we don't talk about it, but Surya is also in the same sort of age bracket, and this format is not his favorite format as well.
Could possibly be his last two.
Lot of If we win it, this will be a last World Cup for a lot of players, because you would want to go on at that high rather than slog it for another 4 years. And I'm not talking about only this format. You will be playing so much cricket in between, and 4 years is a lifetime. Nobody knows what happens in the next 4 years. You can't.
Exactly. In an athlete's lifetime, 4 years.
Not at all. Somebody like Shubman can plan for it. I don't see.
Shami?
Why is a long shot again for a fast bowler?
But he'll be 37.
But the amount of cricket he ended up playing, let's not forget about 4 years of IPL in between. That's a
True.
And then T20 World Cup is coming.
And
mind,
test matches.
and
Yeah.
mind you, Rika, after this 50 over cricket, there'll be very less 50 over games, because the next World Cup or next big thing is T20. So there'll be a lot of T20 series, because you'll start preparing for that sort of a thing. And people don't realize even T20 cricket takes a lot out of you.
Lot on your body. Yeah.
Yes,
Also, it's not just the cricket, the traveling in between.
everything.
Yeah, so let me tell our viewers we are at 117. India is at 179 for 5 in 37 overs. In the middle is KL Rahul batting at 56, and Surya Kumar Yadav, well, he's accompanying him. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.